Welcome to SNUathletics.com for the second game in our doubleheader between the OBU Bison and your Southern Nazarene Crimson Storm. This is the last doubleheader of the regular season for both these teams as GAC championships loom on the horizon. OBU in the previous game earlier this afternoon took the victory against Southern Nazarene after their bats got really hot really early, scoring 6 runs very, very fast. Now they come into game 2 where SNU seeks to do a little bit of avenging of that first game. SNU is on the field first, obviously. In the top of the first, we're just about ready to get underway. So at this moment, we'll go over the OBU batting order right now, which is going to start off with, as there's the first pitch, delivered by SNU goes ball. OBU is being led out by number 1, the designated hitter, Brett Berghammer, who's awaiting a 1-0 pitch. And he'll go 2-0. Behind him is Kevin Olmeda, Zane Gelfman, the second baseman and third baseman respectively. Number 9, catcher Juan Gonzalez. 21, left fielder Josh Timms. Number 3, right fielder Hunter Heath. So that one goes into the dirt for ball 3. Number 12, the first baseman Nick Burnham. Number 6, the center fielder Joe Moran. Number 7, the shortstop Dustin Cook. And on the mound for the Bison is number 4, the right-handed pitcher Zach Fowler with a 2.85 ERA and a 4-1 record on the year. And a 4-pitch walk is how on the mound for the Crimson Storm, the right-handed pitcher David Gustafson, will start out his afternoon coming into the game with an 0-8 record and a 6.39 ERA. In the field for the Crimson Storm, number 2, the shortstop, batting first, Dylan Phelan. Number 19, the second baseman, Austin Cooper. Number 7, the catcher, Tyler Stevens. Number 22, the center fielder, Mike DeShishalo. Number 14, right fielder, Anthony Wiggins. Number 5, the left fielder, Garrett Perez. Number 29, the first baseman, Jefferson Harris. Number 10, the third baseman, Dalen Edgar. And finally, number 8, the designated hitter, Ryan Tucker. Gustafson finds his first strike of the afternoon. No outs so far in this top of the first inning with Berghammer over there cheating off at first a little bit. Finds the second strike, so opens up his second opponent with an 0-2 count. He's going up against number 13, second baseman Kevin Olmeda. He checks over there at Berghammer. Olmeda's batting average so far this year is a 2.81. 2.81 on the year, slugging percentage 368. Finds it outside for ball 1 on 2 count. 33 RBIs on the year for Olmeda. 1 home run on the year, 2 triples, 9 doubles, and 52 hits overall. He gets a piece of this one, and it goes high into left center, and it's corralled by number 22, Mike DeShishalo. And it'll keep Berghammer over there honest at first base. So Zane Gulfman, the freshman third baseman, right-handed batter and right-handed arm, comes to the plate. He's a freshman with a 335 batting average on the year. Gustafson opens up his at-bat with a strike. Checks over there with Jefferson Harris and keeps Berghammer honest. Once again, you are watching SouthernNazareneAthletics.com. I'm your host for the second game of the afternoon, John Hale. As we come into the top of the first inning, SNU losing the first game against OBU earlier this afternoon by a score of 11-5. Now Gustafson with a 1-ball, 1-strike scenario against number 11. That one goes into the dirt, ball 2. Just inside for ball 3. So a 3-1 count now behind for Gustafson. Trying to save this one. In need of a strike here in order not to send another runner to first and advance the other second. And he gets a piece of this one. It's popped out back into left field. And it's blocked by Perez. So that'll bring up number 9, the right-handed batter, Juan Gonzalez. He's off average. Scoring 28 runs this year at 140 at-bats. He has 49 hits in the season, 14 doubles, no triples, and 4 home runs. Scoring 41 RBIs on the year. Gustafson will start now with the ball against Gonzalez. Goes away and outside. Ball 2. He gets a piece of this one and flies it out into the parking lot, foul. He gets a piece of this one into center, where Mike DeCicelo is waiting on it. Picks it up, and that is how the top of the first will end. So after starting out struggling against his first batter, Gustafson is able to fly out in succession of one another, and that'll end the top of the first. No hits, no errors. We go into the bottom of the first. We'll see the first batters for Southern Nazarene. Athletics.com. SNUathletics.com. We come to the bottom of the first, and the first three batters for the Crimson Storm will be as follows: Dylan Phelan, Austin Cooper, and Tyler Stevens are on deck. And Dylan Phelan's going to open up. First pitch is a first hit of the ball game, as Dylan Phelan puts it right past the shortstop. That would be Dustin Cook. So Dylan Phelan opens up. Very strong start for the Crimson Storm and brings up Austin Cooper. Austin Cooper hitting .308 this year. 12 runs on 24 hits and 7 RBIs on the as a whole. So Cooper comes up, and he's going to be going up against Zach Fowler. And he's trying to go and put the bunt down. Phelan's going to second, and that's going to be a fielder's choice. So Cooper's going to be thrown out at first, but he'll advance Phelan. Now comes up the catcher, number 7, Tyler Stevens, one of the seniors on this SNU team. Tyler Stevens, he's recorded 28 runs this year on 43 hits, 27 RBIs on 6 home runs. Tyler Stevens putting in some big numbers, batting .278. First pitch goes ball. That one goes into the dirt, ball 2. A swing and a miss for strike 1 for Stevens. Trying to check over there, throws it to Kevin Olmeda. Checking out on Phelan. Stevens awaiting the 2-1 pitch. 1 out so far in this bottom of the first. And he gets a piece of this one, flies it deep into center field, and it's going to drop, and that'll probably send Phelan home as he's digging for it. And he's going to get there without a problem as Stevens records a double, and there's the first run of the ball game for your Southern Nazarene Crimson Storm as they take the lead 1-0. That brings up one of the heaviest hitters on the SNU roster, number 22, the center fielder senior Mike Shishalo. He's hitting .329 on the year, 31 runs on 53 hits. 43 RBIs on 9 homers on the year for DeShishlo. Gets a piece of it and right to the pitcher who mishandles it. Able to get it to first anyway. I think DeShishlo might have made it if he tried to run from the very beginning, but he hesitated just for a second because he thought the pitcher had it in his glove to begin with. So DeShishlo will take a seat. Still with Stevens on second, and they'll bring out number 14, Anthony Wiggins. He's a left-handed batter, hitting .313 on the year. That one goes low for ball 1. And he thought about pushing it across the plate. He seems a little frustrated because he thought that he might have a chance to send that one pretty deep. Nevertheless, it's going to go off as a foul. Ties up the count of 1 apiece. And does get a piece of that one right past the first baseman. And they're going to wave Stevens around into home, and he's going to get there without a problem, and Wiggins will advance on the throw. So there goes another run for the Crimson Storm, and Wiggins slid so hard he actually popped the base out of the dirt. So the Crimson Storm score another run, making it 2-0 early on in this second game. So Anthony Wiggins getting checked up on by first base player coach Riley Woods. And I'll bring up Garrett Perez, the left fielder. The sophomore is hitting .299 on the year. So that one goes high and away. Ball one. Checking up on Wiggins. Wiggins slides back in second. Fowler will reset and send a 1-0 ball to Perez. Waiting. And that one does find a strike zone right over the plate. 1. Inside, ball 2, just beside the shins of Garrett Perez. And gets a piece of this one. He's going to go to the shortstop, and the shortstop's going to make the play. And that'll sink Perez as well as the first inning. So 1 down and 6 to go in the second game of the doubleheader. And the Crimson Storm take a 2-run lead over the Oklahoma Baptist Bison. When we come back to SNUathletics.com, it'll be the Bison's turn to try and answer the Crimson Storm when we come back. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Oklahoma Bison will look to answer the Crimson Storm as they open up after their second game with 2 runs in the first inning. And this is a little chop past the shortstop into left field. And that's how the Oklahoma Baptist Bison will start with a single by number 21, Josh Timms. Following Timms is Hunter Heath, the left freshman, 324 on the year, 47 hits so far, 18 RBIs, only 1 home run so far this year. And he hits that one right to the first baseman, Jefferson Harris, who is able to make a big play, diving forward and able to get back up and tag up at first to send Heath back to the dugout. However, it will advance Timms. So with one out and a man in scoring position brings up Nick Burnham, another freshman hitting .256. 23 hits on the year, 3 home runs, 23 RBIs. So Gustafson looking for his first strikeout of the afternoon. That one goes low and away. Ball one. Swing and a miss. We'll tie up the count at 1 apiece. Here comes the 1-1. Too far inside to find the strike zone. Ball 2. So Burnham is a 6'7", 210 junior out of Pleasant Hill, California. Thought about going on that one. He's going to call balls, so brings us up a count. Gustafson will try to put more in his favor. 3-1 with 1 out and a man in scoring position. And the tying run is at the plate. And there's ball 4, so Gustafson walks Burnham. The tying run is at first. And now brings up the leading run, number 6, Joe Moran. Another, so there would be, so the entire lineup, the entire starting lineup for the Oklahoma Baptist Bison is entirely made up of freshmen. Hitting .218 on the year, 28 RBIs. Gustafson finds the strike zone. And that one gets away from Stevens. And advances the runners. So that takes away the force out. On a wild pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. And now Gustafson is in a bit of a bind. You want to give it against Moran, hitting .218. 3 home runs on the year for Moran. That one outside and low. Ball 2. That one is low and inside. Ball 3. Gets a piece of it, dribbles it over to the shortstop, able to get him out at first. However, that will bring in a run for the Bison, who cut the lead in half as Phelan makes the play to Jefferson on the fielder's choice. That drove in believe that drove in Timms. And it brings up number 7, the shortstop, Dustin Cook, hitting .297 on the year. And a very similar play to Phelan, and got him out at first. And that is how the inning will end. So the Bison are able to answer the Crimson Storm with a run of their own. However, the Crimson Storm still hold a 1-run advantage as we go into the bottom of the second here at SNUathletics.com. Crimson Storm lead 2-1. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Crimson Storm back at the plate from the bottom of the second. As once again, Fowler's on the mound for the Bison. Sends a ball to Jefferson Harris. Now Jefferson Harris will take a chop at it, and it's juggled by the third baseman, and he's not going to be able to get there as it goes over the first baseman. So Jefferson Harris able to reach first on an error. That's the first error of the ball game by either team, and it goes to the Oklahoma Baptist Bison. So Jefferson Harris leads off two innings in a row that the man on first. And third baseman Edgar. The senior's hitting 2. No home runs. However, he does have 17 runs, 20 on the year, 4 RBIs. He's going to put down the ball. There, and it was a close one for sure, but the umpire's going to call it out. The first base player, Coach Riley Woods, thought he was definitely safe. So the player's choice will result in Harris going to second. Edgar's going to take a seat. Tucker's hitting 143 on the year. A swing and a miss is how he'll start his first at-bat of the afternoon. 1 RBI on the year on 9 hits. And that one gets on the curve. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I'm mistaken, ladies and gentlemen, it's 2 strikes, no balls. He gets a piece of this one, pops it just inside the glove of the left fielder. That's Josh Timms, able to make the play. Just kind of a lazy floater up there, and Tim's able to make the play. So 2 outs now. Man in scoring position, and it brings up number 2, Dylan Phelan, back to the top of the order for the Crimson Storm. Phelan led off the game for the Crimson Storm with a single right up the gut, past the shortstop and the second baseman. Looking to duplicate that performance or do something better. That one's outside, ball 1. He got a little bit of a piece of it at the end of his bat. Fouls it off, strike one. Here's the 1-1. Finds the strike zone right up the middle. Strike two. Beautiful day here in Bethany at about 82, 83 degrees. And a 7-mile-an-hour wind coming out of the east. That one is outside. Ball two evens up the count. And gets a piece of this one, floats it into right field, and it's able to be corralled by Heath. And that is how the inning will end. So no runs scored by the Crimson Storm in the bottom of the second. And OBU will have a chance to possibly take the lead or at least tie it up, or we'll see what happens as 2 frames are in the books. When we come back to SNUathletics.com, we'll be ready to go with the third inning. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Berghammer is how we'll start off the top of the third, as we are back to the top of the order for the OBU Bison. And he'll foul off the first pitch from Gustafson, excuse me. Next pitch from Gustafson is outside and high for ball one. Evens up the count. And that one looks like it might have found the strike zone, but just a tad outside. Ball two. That one does, right up Main Street. Evens up at 2 apiece. So Berghammer is a 5'9", 165 junior out of Half Moon Bay, California. Skyline High School. Gets a piece of it right to Gustafson. Able to make the play and take out Berghammer. Next up for the Bison is the second baseman, Kevin Almeida, who flew out in the first inning. That one finds the strike zone. 0-1. Gets a piece of that one and right past Jefferson Harris. Couldn't make the play. And he thought about digging for two, but no can do. Not that time. He does single. And now the tying run is at first base. And that'll bring up Gelfman, who also flew out in the first inning. Check over at first base to keep the runner honest. That one goes low into the dirt for ball one. SNU wearing the black tops and the white pants. OBU wearing the faded gold tops, the gray pants, the green helmets. That one high and inside, ball two. Three. He just got outside. So now 3-0 count for Gustafson against Gelfman. Finally gets one inside. Strike one, 3-1 count. That one's outside for ball four. And advances the runners. Still one out in this top of the third. Next up is the catcher, Juan Gonzalez. Gonzalez also flew out in the first inning. In fact, he's the one that brought the first inning to an end with his fly out. Left that one on base. That one finds the strike zone, 0-1 now. Gets a piece of it over to third base where he's able to tag. Maybe get the double play. No, outside. That throw by Edgar drew Jefferson Harris off the bag. Keeps everything the same. Man on first and second. 2 outs now. And keeps a runner at least 180 feet away from evening up this ball game. That one's a little bit high. Ball one. And that one is popped up and will go foul. Count stays at 2 balls, no strikes. That one finds the strike zone. 2 balls, 1 strike. Fouls this one off into the parking lot. Ties up the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Men on second and third now, as they were able to advance. Gets a piece of it and goes fair. That'll tie it up and send the leading run on home. So the OBU Bison take the 3-2 run lead. And now they have a player over there at second. That was Timms. Able to make the big play. He's now 2 for 2 on the afternoon. And we'll bring up number 3, Hunter Heath. Grounded out in the second inning. That one finds the strike zone. 0-1. So big play for the Bison, who take the lead for the first time in this ball game. And pops that one off foul. Off towards the SNU bullpen. That he went on that one, and that is how the inning will end. So the Crimson Storm able to end the top of the third, but not before the OBU Bison score 2 runs on a line drive by Timms, and now find themselves down 3 runs to 2. When we come back to the SNUathletics.com here at Feel and Field, we'll see if the Crimson Storm can answer when we come back. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Now at the plate for the Crimson Storm, Austin Cooper. Going up against Fowler, and Fowler starts off by throwing him strike 1. Got a piece of that one with, at least I think a lot of the fans here thought that they heard that ball get a piece of the bat. They're going to call ball 1 ball 2 strike, or now it's 1 ball 2 strikes on a swing and a miss by Cooper. And that one goes way outside, or excuse me, way inside. 2 balls, strikes against Cooper. That one's into the dirt and bring up a full count. Gets a piece of it, dribbles it over to the second baseman, who's able to take him out at first. There's Almeida, who's able to make the play. Austin Cooper will sit down on his second ground out of the afternoon. So that'll bring up the catcher Tyler Stevens, who had a double early. Quite a ways, possibly kept in by that wind. That one goes ball 1. That one finds the strike zone, ties up the count 1 apiece. He gets a piece of this one and flies it up really high into right field, where Heath is under it, able to bring it down without a care in the world. So 2 outs now against the Crimson Storm brings up Mike DeCicelo, senior leader of this SNU team. That one finds the strike zone right down Main Street. It's a big swing and a miss. Strike 2. And a swing and a miss, so 3 strikes, 3 pitches is how the inning will end. And that's 3 in the books now. When we come back, OBU will try to build upon their 3-2 lead here at Field and Field on SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. It's going to be Nick Burnham who will lead off the top of the 3rd for the Bison. Chops this one to Phelan. And a long throw to Jefferson Harris, and he makes it. That one looks like it was in the air for a very long time. Brings up Joe Moran. 0 for 1 so far. However, he does have an RBI on a ground out. So 1 out very quickly for the Bison. And that one's going to go ball 1. looks like Moran's going to try and get the bunt down, or at least try to do so. Nope, he's going to take a swing and send this one to center field, where DeShishalo gets under it. So 2 up and 2 down now. That brings up Dustin Cook. Also 0 for 1 on a ground out. Oh, and that one's very close, and they actually did get him. Gustafson hits Cook by a pitch. And now we're back to the top of the order with Berghammer. Back up to bat, his 3rd appearance of the afternoon. And there's the steal attempt. And Cook's going to get there without a problem. The pitch to Berghammer is a strike, though, so the count is an 0-1 scenario, 2 outs. Man in scoring position now. As OBU's coaches didn't waste a thought on sending him to second base on the steal. And there's one into the dirt, ties up the count 1-1. Now it looks like the coach is going to head on out there and talk to Gustafson. Robert Lee back from his absence. Have a quick chat with Gustafson and see that everything's okay. Against Berghammer, who's quite dangerous, hitting almost 40%, 400, hitting almost 400, just below 390. So dangerous batter right here. Stevens and Lee will head back to their places. And we'll come up with the 1-1 pitch from Gustafson to Berghammer. And that one's really close. Able to get out of the way, and Cook is going to advance to third. So now the runner is 90 feet away from doubling SNU's current total. Two balls, 1 strike against Berghammer. Drops this one foul. 2s across the board now. 2 strikes, 2 balls, 2 outs. Big pitch right there. Caught him looking. Strike 3. That is how the top of the 4th will come to an end. And with that, we are close to halfway. I think we're past halfway of this second ball game, as this one will only go 7 innings. We come back, SNU will try to make up for the 3-2 deficit when we come back to SNUathletics.com. back to SNUathletics.com. Up for the Crimson Storm, Wiggins, Perez, and Harris. With Wiggins to lead off. This bottom of the 4th inning. Down 3 runs to 2 to the OBU Bison. That one goes low for ball 1. Fouls this one off, ties up the count 1 apiece. Now goes to the dirt, ball 2. That one also goes ball. So now Wiggins ahead of the count. 3 balls, 1 strike. They choose to take the swing here. That does not. Takes the walk. Wiggins able to get on base. Brings up Garrett Perez, who grounded out earlier. Tries to get the bunt down, and it just goes foul. It looks like the first baseman had an opportunity to pick that one off in the air as that bunt went pretty high. Nevertheless, just let it foul. Play it safe. No balls, 1 strike. No outs, man on first. Tries to get that bunt down and will not be able to pick him off in the air. That's the 3rd baseman, Zane Gelfman. So Garrett gets a sacrifice bunt and sends Anthony Wiggins to second. 1 out now. And he'll bring those up to Jefferson Harris. Swing and a miss. Look a little bit hesitant on that follow through. A little bit stiff. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Chops at that one and it'll go foul. Now Harris looking down the barrel with a 0-2 scenario. Check up on Wiggins at second. That one's high for ball 1. Chops that one foul off into the screen. Everything will stay the same. So he's battling to stay alive and hopefully bring in Wiggins to tie up this ball game. Gets a piece of it and singles up into left field, and they're gonna hold Wiggins at third. As Jefferson Harris is able to single. Brings up number 10, Dalen Edgar. Edgar had a sacrifice ground out today. Chance to potentially tie up one. That one right over the. Fowler so far, 4 hits, 1 double, 1 strikeout. And both runs by the Crimson Storm are earned on 51 pitches. Gets a piece of this one, flies it into center, and they're going to tag up Wiggins. And that one goes off of Fowler, and that'll allow Jefferson Harris to tag up and go to second. So Anthony Wiggins ties up this ball game 3 runs to 3 runs. Off of the sacrifice fly by Dalen Edgar. So that's 2 errors now for OBU. As Ryan Tucker approaches the plate, 2 outs. And a man on second. That one goes into the dirt, ball 1. That one way outside, ball 2. Swing and a miss for the first strike. As Tucker took a big whiff on that one. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. And a swing and a miss. The tie at the count at 2 apiece. 2s across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Very likely thunderstorms moving in later tonight. So the clouds are covering up the sunshine, at least for right now. It's spotty right now. Chops it over to third base, but it goes foul. Everything stays the same. So it's partially cloudy skies right now. Pleasant afternoon. However, that will give way to some thunderstorms later this evening. Gets a piece that one, fouls it off to right this time. So now Tucker just battling, trying to stay alive. So Gonzalez is going to call time and go talk to Fowler. Make sure everything's okay. Give his pitcher some words. And we're back to the action. That one goes ball, and now we're up to a full count. Big pitch coming up. 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the 5th. Tucker with a big opportunity here. Fowler with an equally big opportunity. Gets a piece of it and right past the pitcher's head, sends it into center field. They're going to wave Jefferson around, and he drops the ball as it goes behind him. So this is for Tucker. drives in 2 runs. Or excuse me, drives in 1 run. Harris was waved around. He was able to get home. SNU retakes the lead here in the bottom of the 4th. 4 runs to 3. Off the hit and an error, as Moran unable to come up with the ball in the outfield. Gave Tucker an extra base. And I do believe that this might be the end for Fowler's afternoon, as the infield is coming in. That ball zipped past Fowler's head into the center field, right up the gut. And Moran just couldn't handle the ball, and yep, that's going to be the end for, that's going to end Fowler's day. So Zach Fowler ends his afternoon on 61 pitches, 5 hits. One of those is a double, the other one was a triple. Only 1 strikeout, and all 4 of SNU's runs were earned off of him. And it'll bring up number 23. I'm going to let him warm up for just a very soon on SNUathletics.com. 2 outs against the Crimson Storm. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Back to the top of the order now, as a new pitcher for the Bisons comes up. It's going to be Tyler Gibson. His first pitch is hit by Phelan, and it will go into center field where Moran is under it. So that is 1 pitch is all it takes for the 4th inning to come to a close, but not before the Crimson Storm record 2 runs and retake the lead 4-3. It was a 2-run, 2-hit, 2-error, 1 left on base inning for the OBU defense. Before we go to break, I'll go over Mr. Gibson's tail of the tape. Tyler Gibson is a right-handed pitcher, 6'4", 200-pound senior out of Worcester, Oklahoma. He's a transfer out of Wichita State University, so we'll see what he does for the remainder of the evening and how long he will last. Nevertheless, Gustafson is coming back for the Crimson Storm, and we'll come back with the top of the 5th inning on SNUathletics.com. back to SNUathletics.com. Gustafson back on the mound, going up against Almeida. So has a hit and a fly out so far today. First pitch right over the plate, strike one. We open up the top of the fifth inning. 3 more frames left in this second game of 2. Gets a piece of that one, chops it over to the second baseman, able to be taken out. That was Austin Cooper able to make it to Jefferson Harris for a 2-pitch out. So brings on Gelfman once again, who wants to take a slice at this one, and he does, and it just goes foul. Lucky day for Garrett Perez and the rest of the SNU defense, who just retook the lead from OBU, and a play very similar to that, a line drive, was able to take the lead away from them momentarily. So Gelfman will come back up. A swing and a miss, as that one goes into the dirt for strike 2. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Three pitches and 3 strikes for Gustafson. Will sink Gelfman. So there's 2 outs already. At the top of the 5th brings up Juan Gonzalez. A fly out and a ground out on a fielder's choice. 0 for 2. That one finds the plate, and Gustafson really finding the groove. A swing and a miss again. Looking for 2-3. And he's got it. A swing and a miss. Sinks OBU very quick. That's how the bottom of the top of the 5th will end. SNU looking to build upon their lead, 4 runs to 3. As we go into the bottom of the 5th here on SNUathletics.com. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Coming into the bottom of the fifth inning and leading off is Austin Cooper. The sacrifice, 2 ground outs to his credit so far. Chops that one up high, and that one's into the ground first, gets him out at first. So 3 ground outs for Austin Cooper today. So 1 pitch, 1 out is how the bottom of the fifth will open. Now it brings us up Tyler Stevens. Tyler Stevens 1 for 2 today. RBI on a double and a fly out. Swing and a miss is how he'll start. Try to get a piece of that one and fouls it back off into the screen. No balls, 2 strikes. That one's high, ball 1. And gets a piece of this one, goes over to the first baseman who mishandles it, flips it over to Gibson, who's able to take out Stevens at first. There's 2 outs now for the Crimson Storm. Brings up Mike DeShisholo. Mike DeShisholo 0 for 2 now with a ground out and a strikeout. Looking to break his slump in this game. That one right over the plate, strike 1. A swing and a miss, strike 2. So DeShisholo will step aside and try to compose himself. And fouls that one off back behind the press box into the parking lot. Stays alive though. Finally got a piece of that ball. And a swing and a miss. That'll sink DeShisholo and put an end to the 5th inning. 5 frames down, and 2 more frames left in this 7-inning game 2 of the doubleheader. OBU looking to answer the Crimson Storm, and as they find themselves down 3 runs to 4 here at SNUathletics.com. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Josh Timms is leading off for the Bisons. Swing and a miss. So Gustafson continues his hot streak. Gustafson today, 72 pitches, 3 hits, 3 doubles. 4 strikeouts today, and all 3 of the Bison's home run or earned runs are earned against him. That one zooms right past Tim's head. Ball 1. So 4 strikeouts today for Gustafson. Trying to add to that total. A swing and a miss. He's well on his way to doing that. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And he's going to get a piece of this one, send it into center field where DeShishlo will field it. So Tim's having himself a pretty good game so far. Brings up Hunter Heath. Him, however, not as great a day as Tim's. 0 for 2 on a strikeout and a ground out. He left 1 on base. Now the tying run is at first. So that one goes high, and now Stevens will chat with Gustafson, make sure everything's okay. That one goes high for ball 2. Checks over at first base and keeps Tim's honest. So Gustafson playing at 5 full innings so far. That one goes ball 3. 3-0 count. That one finds the strike zone. Puts a strike up on the board. 3 balls, 1 strike. Checks on over at Tim's. And he'll reset. That one goes down to the dirt, and now the leading run is at first, and tying run is in scoring position. With no outs so far, and here comes Tim Cole. Off the chat with Gustafson, who starting to show signs of fatigue. Be interesting. And here comes the rest of the infield, and that may be it for Gustafson. Tim Cole's gonna trot back to the dugout and leave Gustafson on the mound. So Nick Burnham returns to the plate. A big opportunity for the Bisons. checks up on everybody. No pitch to Burnham yet. And Gustafson keeping a close eye on Timms hanging out there at second base. And finds the strike zone, strike one. It looks like Burnham's going to be showing bunt the whole way. That one caught a piece of the bat. Strike two. That one's down into the dirt, ball one. That one just below the strike zone, and the home crowd did not like the call on that one. Ties up the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Once again, very similar placement. And now a full count against Burnham. Big pitch right here for Gustafson. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Sends him down. Burnham sits on down and keeps everybody the same for the first out of the inning. Brings up number 6, Joe Moran. Has an RBI to his credit so far. So Gustafson stays on the mound, at least for the time being. Can't quite see SNU's bullpen. Unsure if they're trying to warm anybody up. Just below the strike zone there. That one finds the strike zone, ties up the count 1 apiece. That one inside and high, ball 2. And it chops it over for foul, and it's actually caught by OBU's third base coach. balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. So Moran chomping at the bit to get a good ball. And there's one to the shortstop, trying to turn the double play. They got it! And that's how the inning will end for OBU. A big double play by the Crimson Storm defense. Keeps all the runners at bay from reaching home. And SNU effectively has given OBU the ultimatum that they have 3 more outs to challenge them for that lead. So as we go into the bottom of the 6th, SNU is bringing up Wiggins, Perez, and Harris in the bottom of the 6th. Don't go anywhere on SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. We are in the bottom of the 6th inning, and it's Anthony Wiggins leading off for the Crimson Storm. Trying to expand this 4-3 lead over OBU. Hits it over to the first baseman, Burnham, who's able to take him out, no problem. So Wiggins will sit on down and brings up Garrett Perez. Perez has a sacrifice, 2 ground outs. That one's just high over the strike zone. Ball 1. Trying to get the bunt down, and they're going to say that that's didn't pull it back, or excuse me, that went inside, so they're going to call ball 2. Checks over with the first base umpire. Yep, that's confirmation. They're going to go with ball 2. No strikes, 1 out. That one's high and inside, ball 3. So Perez is way high up in the count now against Gibson. And the umpire calls strike 1. Perez thought that was high too. That one finds strike zone too, so just like that, it's a full count, 1 out. That one, 3 strikes in a row, sends Perez back. Now brings up number 29, Jefferson Harris. It's 1 for 2 with a single, and he reached second on that error that came along with this single. Two outs now for the Crimson Storm. That one's inside, ball 1. Gets a piece of that one over to third base. Will he be able to get there? Yes, he will. He had to come off the base, gets him with the glove. That sinks Harris. A 1-2-3 for the OBU defense. And now down to their final 3 outs in the top of the 7th when we come back to SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Top of the 7th now, and the last chance for OBU. On deck for OBU at the plate right now is number 7, the shortstop Dustin Cook, followed by Berghammer and Almeida. Gustafson ties at the count 1-1 real quick. Gets a piece of that one and drops it into left field. Perez going to having a little trouble as it goes outside of the field into that gate. He's trying to save it and it hit off his body into that exit gate over there by left field at the supply barn. Umpires having a little bit of trouble deciding what to do. So Cook just by itself is able to get to second. And I think that's where they're going to keep him. So now Coach Bobby Cox for the OBU Bison. He's getting an explanation. So that's what's going to happen. Cook is going to stay at second. So Berghammer comes up to the plate with a tying run at second. Gets a piece of this one into center field. There, able to take him out without a problem. And keeps Cook at bay. Brings up Almeida. Almeida is 1 for 3 with a hit, fly out. Gets a piece of that one, and it's foul. Just called foul. And Cook was ready to go home. He knew that he was going home, regardless of where that hit. So Cook will slowly trot back to second. Nevertheless, it's no balls, one strike, one out. Very close to a whole new game. Gets a piece of this one. It also goes foul. Now no balls, two strikes, one out against Olmeda. Gustafson has pitched 6.1 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 4 double bases, 5 strikeouts on the day. Gets a piece of this one. That one is a hit, and that one will tie up the ball game. And now we are tied up at 4 runs apiece. So OBU answers, and SNU will have to go ahead and play the bottom of the 7th inning. So a big hit by Olmeda to send Cook home. And now Zane Gelfman with another chance to possibly take the lead with Olmeda in scoring position. No outs, or excuse me, 1 out. 1 out for the Bison. That one finds the inside corner. Strike 1. That one finds the strike zone as well, too. Gets a piece of it. Going over to Phelan, who's able to take him out at first. So now the leading run is 90 feet away with 2 outs, and it brings up Juan Gonzalez, the catcher, who has been unable to record a hit today. He's gone 0 for 3. I'm sure SNU would love to take him out before they have to face Josh Timms, who is 3 for 3 on the day. Gets a piece of that one right up to third base, mishandles it, and can't get him. Error is going to give OBU the lead. 5 runs to 4. Couldn't quite scoop it out of the dirt. Strike 1 going up against Josh Timms. Once again, he's gone 3 for 3 today. That one over there close by his head. Ties up the count 1 apiece. Got a piece of that one, fouls it off behind. Strike 2. Pops that one up. And it's going way back towards the wall where Shishlo is able to get under it and take him out. And that's how the top of the 7th will end, but not before OBU now answers SNU and now says you only have 3 more outs. So SNU down 5 runs to 4. Has to put at least 1 run on the board in order to keep playing, or perhaps 2 to win the ball game when we come back to SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Dalen Edgar will lead off the bottom of the 7th, the final inning for the Crimson Storm. That one goes inside for strike 1. Thought about going, decides not to. Ball 1. That one finds the strike zone, strike 2. So now Gibson trying to put away a win for the Bison. And a swing and a miss. It's going to send Dalen Edgar back to the dugout. SNU down to their final 2 outs. Brings out the designated hitter, Ryan Tucker. Tucker's gone 1 for 2 with a hit and a fly out. First one is a ball. Next one also a ball. So now Tucker trying to survive. Finally gets a strike across from Gibson. Pops this one up way high. This one may stay in play. And it will. It's tracked down by Gelfman. So now SNU down to their final out. And it's back up to Dylan Phelan. Top of the order now. That one goes inside for strike 1. Gets a piece of that one over to base. He's able to get him, and that's how the game will end. So OBU fights back from being down a run most of the second half of this ball game and ends up victorious. they take both games today. The first game winning 11-5, and the second game winning by a score of 5-4. SNU just wasn't able to finish in this second game. That's a heartbreaker for sure. So the yell goes to David Gustafson, who pitched all 7 innings for the Crimson Storm. 105 pitches, he got 6 hits, 4 double bases, and 5 strikeouts with 4 of OBU's runs being earned, and the last one, the winning run, coming off an error. The winner for the Bisons. Trying to find his stats right here. Is going to go to Zach Fowler. Who pitched just out more than Tyler Gibson. Fowler got 5 hits and 4 runs. All 4 of them were earned by the Crimson Storm. Only 1 strikeout on the day, with Gibson getting 3 strikeouts. And that's going to just about do it for us at SNUathletics.com. And real quickly, regardless of due to the weather, we do not know if there will be a game tomorrow. Even so, for me, this will be my last broadcast for this semester, and I will definitely see you guys back here on SNUathletics.com. Football season rolls around, and as well as volleyball season and all that wonderful things. Really, I want to thank Tanner Stiles, Connor McKenzie, Glade Pinninger, Antoine Williams, and the rest of the staff here on our broadcast team that will not be with us next year. Thank you for teaching me so much about broadcast, and thank you for being with me every step of the way through the times and the bad. Thank you for being with me here on SNUathletics.com, and thank you. So thank you for listening. And SNU unable to pull out 2 games today against their rivals, the Oklahoma Baptist Bison. And with that, I hope you guys have a wonderful day.